Okay, this is going to go on Art of Processing. I am trying to clear some stuff that's sort of stuck in me. And I want to clear it before I go turn on the camera on my computer, because I'm going to do a just impromptu co-working session on Art of Processing. I want to get this part out. It's too distracting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an activity that I really like to do that helps me soothe. Some might call it a stem. I'm going to scrape out my grinder. See, I don't like it when it gets stuff stuck in it like that. So I try to clean it at least a little bit every time I use it. And I find it to be like kind of a calming ritual, and I very clearly can see the impact and improvement when I'm doing it. So while I do that, I am going to clear something that's bothering me a lot. And a couple of disclaimers. Number one, my partner and I have spoken at length for years about allowing ourselves and our relationship to be seen more, with the idea of it being between like maybe some couples, maybe a couple group, but right now that's not what's available. So that's one. Number two, the incident I want to clear myself of the painful energy around happened last night, and it happened in a group. So since there was in essence a audience, I feel like I can speak to it here, because it's not like I have a big audience here, but yeah, it'll give an opportunity for us, he and I, to practice allowing some of the messier aspects of our relationship to be seen. And the sun is out, and Charlie, let's get in the sun. Get up, let's move to bed. Come on, get up, get up, get up, get up. We're gonna make it better. Come here. Look, the sun is out, the sun is out. Let's move to bed, and we're gonna sit it in the sun. And I'm gonna sit on part of it, and you're gonna sit on part of it. And I'm gonna sit here and relax, and you're gonna relax. And I'm gonna talk and get it off my heart and chest. And the sun is coming out, and that's pretty awesome. So that's gonna help me lighten up before I go inside and do some work, because I don't want to be distracted by this. Ow, 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 ow. Okay. I will move, maybe I'll move the camera now and then, so that you get a different view. Yeah, I'm gonna tell my story now while I clean my grinder. Oh yeah, and of course my feet are bare. And if the sun comes out long enough, I'm gonna take my shirt off and get some November sun on my skin. You know, it's kind of a special treat. Okay. A few of the facts. We had people over last night in our home for a platonic cuddle gathering. That part was familiar and practiced. Our home space is new, and the format of the cuddle gathering that we wanted to do was new. In this case, we were trying out our own variation of a gift circle with a small group of people. We spoke to
Charles Eisenstein spoke to the concept of the more beautiful world my heart knows is possible, based on the Charles Eisenstein book and Sacred Economics. And so this was our first circle. We talked about the thing a lot, but not in the last week. And that is usually when we kind of do our fine-tuning and planning. But we had a rupture at the beginning of the week where I had a meltdown, and my behavior was not fun to be around and unkind. I'm sure it brought up memories for him of times where I've been way more out of control, and other experiences. So there's a lot there. Another factor is being in front of people who are friends is a particular dynamic. Leading everybody in something that may be brand new to them is an interesting dynamic. So all of that's at play. I feel very disconnected with my partner when I arrive at home. I have been pet sitting across town. We haven't spoken much. We haven't spent time together regulating our nervous systems together. We haven't done any of the things we normally do to ground and be together. So I was very dysregulated when I came home. I was further activated because he parked a car that he's currently using. He parked a car in my spot, and I arrived late, so the entire block was full of our guests, and I had to park a distance away. Basically, it's just down the block, don't get me wrong, but the fact that I couldn't just pull into my own driveway and had to navigate one more thing really pushed me over the edge. I was also over hungry. So I walk into our home to a lot of people, very boisterous, very loud, celebrating a birthday. I was trying to be as invisible as possible. Someone was in the kitchen, like a new friend was in the kitchen working on the cake when I arrived, and she tried to say, hello and thank you so much for having this, and I just hid my face and said, I cannot engage right now. And I looked at my partner and I said, I need to eat. I know you're busy. I'm going to eat. I'm going to reset. And I'll see you, you go do the party thing. I'll see you in a little bit. He said something like, okay, yeah, do whatever you got to do. And I got a little more upset and said, I know, but I'm telling my partner what my plan is. To include you, and so that you know what's happening. So I was already feeling a lot of feelings of being forgotten, of being dismissed, of being avoided. This had been building for a week. I have perceived a number of reactions in him to me that feel very uncomfortable to witness. I am struggling with feelings of that come up as I remember the times in which I know that was the face I was making or the way I was behaving with my daughter, especially during my single parent days. And living in a one-room apartment or one-bedroom while she had significant health problems, and I had caregiver fatigue, and I was barely recovered from my own severe health issues. So that's all present. But in this case, I do have somebody who has professed that he wants to know me, see me clearly. He wants to learn how to support me. He's willing to invest that time and energy. And these are just some ways that it's compounded where that's not what is happening. And we do not have enough opportunity to connect about it and talk about it. So it's festering in me. I believe it is in him, because every time I do see him, it feels even more distant. And I am more dysregulated every time and display like way more emotion than I might if we'd had some regulation time without words. And all of this is, echoes of mine and my daughter's challenges. I recognize I have the opportunity to have a new experience with this old stimulus. I am in this experience with an adult who I feel secure with. Logically, my body doesn't feel secure, but my mind does, and my heart often does. So I sequestered myself. I ate what I could. I was outside. I had a little bit of cannabis. I grounded in the quiet and enjoyed it. I asked for a couple quick hugs in the kitchen, which is very symbolic of a pain and a request that I've had in the past. I advocated for myself really well. I went upstairs to freshen up and change. My partner happened to be there when I arrived. I'm really grateful. He was just kind of checking last minute details. He was by himself. I was very wobbly. I was really having a hard time regulating, and he did not feel available, and I did not have the energy to ask. I just wanted him to offer. And that's not it from a codependency place. That's from a place of I can't navigate anything right now. I can't name what I need. We've talked about it in the past and prepared for this. Please offer what we've agreed I need. You are willing to do when I am in this state. We need that practice to build the trust, which I do not currently have. It is currently shattered, actually. So we're in the same room. He sees me crying. He sees me being busy. He sees me trying to quickly do the things I need, like wash my face and pits and brush my teeth. He's trying to talk to me while I'm using my electric toothbrush, and I cannot hear him. So I get more irritable. And he says something along the lines of, so what are you going to do? Are you just kind of changing your clothes and then leaving? And I was like, what? And he's like, well, you're clearly upset, clearly having a hard time. What are you going to do? Are you just not going to participate? And I was like, I don't know where you got that idea. I just literally said what I'm doing. I just named what I'm doing. I'm trying to feel better than I do right now. That's all I'm focused on. And I wish you trusted me to know that I can shift, that I can be different, but I need some time to get there. I know you only see the worst of me lately, and I'm sorry for that. And I, at this point, had moved across the room from him because we were in the closet and it was overly confining. And he almost left the room. But luckily, gratefully, he stopped and he turned around and he came back. And he just took me in his arms. And I cried a bit. And I had flashbacks of my daughter and I. And I felt some of that pain. And I tried to name some of it while I regulated a little bit more. And he still felt distant. And so I was trying to do as much of it myself as I could. And he had that faraway look that I'm tired of this. I'm going to pretend that I'm here and I'm really not face. Okay, I'm gonna reset a little bit. Okay, that's the view now. How about oh, how about dog? Set it up so that you can see resting dog. How about this? I know it's upside down, but that's just the way it's gonna be right now. Oh my god. How do I get Charlie on here? Okay, well, I don't think it's gonna work right now. See, I gotta plan these kind of shots in advance. Okay, I don't want to hold it either, so. Oh my god, did I just finally figure it out? Okay, leaning it. No, it's gonna fall. Ooh, could I go like this? Okay, thanks, friend. The little tree is gonna help out. Okay, now we get some Charlie vision while I get my upsets out a little bit. Okay. I need to wrap it up because we're at 20 minutes. One of the challenges we're having, unfortunately, right now is that too much has built up between us that is unprocessed and untalked about and unaddressed. And this gathering that was supposed to be ours, but somehow over the past week became his, was super triggering of a lot of things, really bringing a lot up, and we weren't talking about it. What was I trying to say with that? I will say finally today, there's still another pretty significant aspect to this that's bothering me, but this morning I left him a message saying, okay, there's a lot of symptoms of issues our relationship is having. That's me knocking stuff off of here into here. You know, it kind of makes music too, I guess. The crows just responded. Like, for real. God, that's awesome. I'm sorry, Charlie. That was too loud. I'm sorry. I'm done. I apologize. Come here. I'm sorry. You're right. I was talking to the crows. I forgot that loud noises are super awful too. You don't like them. Yeah. And that's partly why I'm trying to keep my energy levels really calm, because it's a practice of being able to regulate myself while I talk to somebody. And sometimes that means I gotta practice, but I don't want to be highly emotional around you, because that hurts you, huh? Your little body tries to alchemize that with me, and you already got too much of your own stuff to alchemize, huh? Yeah. So you just want to relax with me. So I can say whatever words I want, but if I want to do a lot of crying or upset or big feelings, I need to do that when, separate from you, huh? Yeah. Go protect the little guy. Yeah. You know what that reminds me of that's super sad? Is I used to process when my daughter was home. I tried to do it in the bathroom, but she could still hear me. And I found out later that she took that on as me being upset with her and unable to face her. Anyway, there's a lot of pain there I'm not going to get into right this minute. Okay, so what was I going to, what was my next thing? Is this clean enough to move on? I think so. Okay, breathe in. So I did say in the past few days I've said things like, this might sound weird, but I miss you. And he said, no, that doesn't sound weird. And last night, as he was walking out of the room after this very brief interaction, where he did share a hurt that he had also just received from a friend, not being invited to a birthday party, felt was really hurtful to him. So he shared that with me, and I thanked him for sharing that, and really, yeah, thank you. I'm still talking, okay? Can you give me a few more minutes, please? Is this area okay? Or are you giving me a report? Okay, I'll check in, okay? Yeah, Zari and I had a little joke last night about sending the crows. We'll have to talk about it at more length later. I gotta finish up this story. Trying to state as many in factual mode as possible. Is it time to go inside, Charlie? Yeah, let's go inside for some cozy. How about that? Yeah, let's get cozy. In a little while, I will take a break and come out and have a little smoke break. I'm gonna move the bed back in here. Kind of freed up my, I've kind of reminded myself that not only does my new phone have pretty much unlimited, I mean, not unlimited, I have to keep up on it, but has a fuck ton of storage. I know how to turn it off so it doesn't go into my cloud storage anymore and gunk it up and create more work. I have unlimited storage on YouTube. I do not need to limit myself. I do not need to contain myself, restrict, say less, because I'm not holding anybody up. I'm not wasting any space. I'm not creating work for myself. I am taking up space, sis. But also like allowing it to be something where only someone who has chosen to participate in my process or sit with me in my process is there, so that folks don't get caregiver fatigue like my partner is. Because I'm in a stage where I need a lot of care, and we need to ask our friends for some of that. It is not just lovers, it is mostly actually friends and family who can help you heal from that stuff. Doesn't all have to be in romantic language or relationship. There's other kinds of partnership. Okay, so let's finish the goddamn story. Okay, Charlie. Oh, I left my water. I'm gonna go get that. Leave water all over. I need to replenish my water stores. I need to sit down more, but I'm gonna grab this can until I find there's my water. Now I'm gonna set it down closer to the recycling. I'm not gonna finish it right now. That's fine. My space can be messy. Not bothering anybody. I can decide how much time to spend on it. I treat it more as a spiritual practice than a requirement based on what our society believes is a sign of good mental health and self-care. I got my own system. Don't fuck with me. Okay, so I'm gonna drink some water. Let's see if we can set up Charlie view. All right, first. Okay, so quit fucking around. All right, still, this is gonna be like a better view than this. Okay, so. Thank you, Charlie. Yeah, I heard it. There's a mail, huh? Thank you, mail person. Thank you, Charlie.
What a good boy. You told me all about it, didn't you? Good boy, thank you. Yeah, I got you one. You were just resting, weren't you? And then all of a sudden, that noise. Yeah. Whew, panting a little bit. Yeah. I've invited you on my lap, but you never seem to want to do that. I don't know. It's up to you. You want to come? No? Okay. Back in your cozy bed. I mean, okay, cool. It was an ideal scenario. Let's see if we get Charlie. Oh my God, boy. See, I really have a hard time with hand-eye coordination in this sort of situation. You doing good, buddy? You doing good? You gonna rest now? Go rest? You got activated, and then you were calm, you were reassured and calmed, and then you got right back into bed. Yeah, Charlie. Yeah, Charlie. Okay, that's how it works, man. Yeah. Okay. Ew, okay. My daughter has a funny series of videos making faces like that. We're changing angles. Okay, I got my water. Okay, regrounding. Into my surroundings. Into the comfort of this chair, the quiet of the space. The crows. I am noting I feel a little chilly, so I'm going to turn the heat back up. I turned it down when the door was open a little bit. And I'd like to put my socks back on because I was outside barefoot. And then I will set a timer. I'm going to come back and set a timer for 5 minutes to see how much I can pack into it. Oh my God, Maddie, you're so cute. Oh my God. You're so cute. Okay. Socks. Where are my socks? There's my socks. There's my socks. Where are my socks? There's my socks. There's my socks. I found my socks. Ooh. I'm gonna make some tea soon. I need some warm liquid. Yep. Gonna turn the heat back up. Thank you, electric heat. Thank you for not being a wood heat or coal. Coal sucks. Heating your house with coal sucks. Makes your clothes smell like coal smoke. You gotta go to the beach right after a storm and at low tide, no matter what fucking time that is. I mean, we didn't do it very much at night. Obviously, you can't go coal hunting at night. Just trust me, don't go coal hunting on the beach at night. It's not a good idea. Unless it's summertime and at nighttime the sun is still up until like 11 o'clock at night. All right, I'm gonna Mr. Rogers my socks while I continue to feel the fucking amazing chair I'm sitting in. It is super comfortable while also being wood arms, comfy seat. Love this chair. Okay. Putting on my socks, warming up my feet. Okay, I don't know what, dirt. Okay, warming up my feet. I hate cold feet. I hate cold feet. They hurt the whole rest of my body. And when you live in a cabin in Alaska, a lot of times the floors are cold. Okay. Let that out.
second, I'm gonna lie down. I'll lie down at the end, actually, because now I'm gonna set a timer for 5 minutes on my cool little wrist computer. Okay. I'm gonna start with 1 minute word association, dropping breadcrumbs of the other things that are cluttering my mind. Not in a bad way, they're just messy and need to be tidied. Okay. Okay, feet on the ground, eyes closed, breathing. Okay, 1 minute. Nervous system regulation, trying new things, allowing myself to be seen, community supporting community, revolution, love, not war, but make love in all the other ways besides sexual. You can make love in many, many ways. Sexual is a limitation to less than 20% of the opportunities there. Star Trek, especially 1966, the first 4 episodes are an incredible study in scrappy, in progress, in making do with what you got, with creativity around props, around willingness to try new things, willingness to explore characters, willingness to just be creative, and practicing. They went from being stage actors in every way that was like theater to a high-tech thing and all of that blended with themes of what the culture of what our country's culture was in the mid-60s and into the early 70s. And I think that is important for people to see. And don't be fooled. Do not be fooled. The sexual themes, the power themes, the rape culture, the women are in lower positions only and to be coddled and protected. All of that was real. That was not fictionalized. All of that was real. They were portrayals of actual events that happened every day to many women. So my 1 minute's been going on for a bit. Okay. I'm gonna reset. This time, I'm putting my hands, one on my heart, one on my belly. I'm gonna set 1 minute for naming sensations in my body, honoring my body's wisdom first before my brain head words. Lower stomach tightly clenched, jaw tight. Difficult to breathe deeply and fully. Entire physical system feels like I'm enclosed by a tight, wet suit of some kind, including my head. I feel fear. I feel restriction and blockages in my body. I feel pent-up sadness. I feel a lot of, I am witnessing many flashbacks as an external witness, not as a disassociated experiencer. I am witnessing my child self. Around 12, what I start to witness more frequently is my daughter and her experience, and what I believe her experience of me at that time was. So again, my 1 minute has been going off. Reset. I'm going to breathe into my root chakra, which is another thing that asked to be named, but often the sensation and the experience of communication from my root chakra takes a while to transfer from my root, my system to my throat chakra. I'm now using the back of the chair. Opening my wings, cradling my head, opening my heart physically. Drinking water, noticing the sun has come back out. Noting it will be time to take the dogs for a walk quite soon. Okay. Noticing now a pain in my right throat area, right here. So I'm gonna,
I'm gonna gently, so that I don't startle Charlie. I'm sorry, that was a startle. And we rub a belly. Thanks for showing me your belly. Charlie's a good boy. I'm sorry, I try not to startle or scare you. I'm gonna get comfy and I'm gonna be more mellow so I don't stress you out. Okay? Okay. You're not responsible for me, buddy. I'm responsible for me, okay? You relax. Just trust me to take care of myself. I'm not your mommy. You don't have to take care of me. Or I'm not whatever.
Whoever you are emotional support animal for. Okay. Oh, I did do it vertically. Maybe I should. Oh, shit. I'm really not prepared for that. Okay. I guess I'm just really kind of meaning to do this whole, like, just talk thing. Like we're not really we wouldn't be looking at each other the entire time if a friend was here sitting with me. Okay, but you just got to see the scene. Look. Okay. So here's the super amazing chair I was just in. Oh, my water's nearby. Now I'm on this gorgeous couch. Like, so comfy. Dog. And the other dog's asleep at the foot. So now, yeah, my like active listener, can be, you know, professional, but also can be a friend. Self is sitting there. My, part of the self that, is asking for the witnessing. It's right here. Getting as comfy as possible. Okay, next time I'll bring my little weighted blanket. Okay. I'm going to reduce the intensity. I'm going to set a timer for 1 minute on my watch. I'm going to set the haptic, it's on vibrate on my heart. at 1 minute, and I'm going to try to drop more into my body. Before I give myself the space to just reassociate what happened last night. Oh. I can't remember. Okay, just. I've added tapping, and now my thing's going off. Okay. I'm gonna blend talking and yeah, you know what? Yeah, thank you. Can I have the couch for a little bit? Yeah, we can share. There's other places for you to lie down, buddy. Okay, I'm gonna do a couple of minutes of being relaxed. Stay or go, up to you. You have like 5 other beds in the house. My turn for the couch. Okay. Okay. We're in our bedroom. We're in a circle. There's little clumps of huggers. People are starting to cuddle in. To my left is our dear friend Jeanette cuddling with Azaria. I'm next to, but only just sometimes lightly touching Azaria. I'm inhabiting my grounded self. I've set aside my destabilized self. Brian is in a chair next to me. Sometimes we're touching lightly, sometimes we're not. Along the wall are more close friends, longtime friends, new friends, a housemate, a woman. Brian has been hoping would become a lover someday or soon. And another woman that he's interested in, but also there's lots of playfulness between them, so he's recognizing that's not necessarily a potential lovership. So I am feeling, and there's a couple more people who I perceive to be, leaders in their maturity, as well as they're in a lot of ways in the same space as and contemporaries and peers to Brian and I. This was a co-creation between Brian and I that in the past week I feel as though became his, subtly and in the shadow and by avoidance and lack of communication. I was attempting to hold myself together and show up the best myself as possible. Brian introduced the circle and started to move on without even asking me if I had anything to add. I added context and meaning and keywords that I saw give a lot of understanding to folks and clarification, but from a 20,000 foot level. I perceived annoyance from Brian and many times throughout the evening a wish that I would stop talking. for the most part, the circle went as planned. It was really sweet. A lot of really vulnerable sharing, as well as naming, this is hard. I'm not used to asking. Naming, keeping their requests very small, and then my encouragement to clarify, simplify, name what it actually is in its fullness. And then having those exact dreams, stretch needs, requests, desires, wishes expressed, an immediate response. I bet I could help with that. And we've put into place a way to follow up. At the end of the circle, I was very disappointed that due to the fact that Brian and I had not checked in quite some time about the gathering, we did not agree on what the follow-up was, even though I thought that had been a closed and cleared subject. We had a disagreement about it in front of everybody, and I said, fine, just do whatever you want. And in retrospect, the fact that the argument he had was that I wasn't going to be able to read or understand his notes. So how in the hell is the person that he wrote it for going to understand the notes? So he wants to do it his way, do it his way. I'm sure by next time we'll be doing it my way, because there was a lot of encouragement for it. Then I felt literally disemboweled and stabbed in the heart and the eyes. When after many examples of the invitation to request and receive folks' actual, this is the crux, so I've got to get there, folks' actual expertise and specialty. I'm sorry, you guys, I'm getting upset now. I'll go in the bedroom. It's upsetting to you. Okay, I'll go in the bedroom. This is a safe space that I can express in without, the dogs have lots of other places to relax, but it's appropriate for me to give them space. So now I'm in a beautiful meditation space. I gotta focus. The intention of a gift circle is to invite people to share what their gifts are, what their offerings are, what their expertise is, what they want to joyfully give. One of mine is helping people with habit change from a place of incremental progress. One of my expertise is creating opportunities for engagement between people and being accountability partners for each other. I literally created a vehicle for that, actually. And as I think of it, I go, okay, well, actually what I saw was a desire shared by multiple people for a similar thing. I can create the space for that to happen. Now that I know that it's a desire. But this one in particular, habit change and organization and overcoming inertia. And there's a woman there that he thinks is really cute and who has already expressed that she would be interested in being an accountability buddy for something like that. And he's wanted to figure out how to spend more time with her. And I agree, she's adorable. I'm not mad at her. I'm mad at his subterfuge and his sneaky fucking ways of figuring out how to spend more time with her without being conscious of it. And so he fucking says that what he wants is an accountability partner, someone to help him organize and stay on track. And he literally fucking says, I don't want to ask Heather for that, even though that is her expertise, because I just don't want to make her do that with me. And he's never fucking asked. He's fucking avoided
every suggestion I've offered. So then cute girl says, I'll do that with you. Please, cute girl, do not take it personally. Let me just fucking get this energy out. It has nothing to do with you. This is an illustration of something that's fucking hurting me really bad. He fucking looks at me after we've explained what the fucking point of the fucking care circle is that we are leading, and says, I don't want my partner to offer me her expertise. I want to do it with the cute girl. And right out in front of all, a bunch of our friends. So, I mean, I guess now he can't, gaslight me and say that's not what happened. I can have my interpretation, and we can check with friends about the actual facts of the matter if we so desire. There were witnesses to the incident. So we're stepping into a place where, something we've been wanting to offer is sitting with couples having challenges, or allowing other people to see us in our process. So now people have seen us in an incident where I felt disemboweled and hurt and squeezed and disrespected and discounted and not top preference. And completely against the whole point of what we were offering and doing there. So what I've done differently to engage with him about it is I have named that all of the issues we had recently are symptoms. And if we get all bogged down in talking about the fucking symptoms, we will never actually get to the crux of the matter. We will never actually do the maintenance on your bike like he hasn't done. So his bike is broken down and now needs $500 worth of work. I use that as an analogy and said, our relationship is that bike, and it is currently unworkable and needs a lot of investment. And then I said, what if the fucking experiment we've been talking about, where we figure out a way that I can tolerate and handle you going and like exploring romantic and sensual and sexual experiences with other women, how about instead you fucking focus on yourself? Why don't you, instead of dating someone else, date your fucking self? I said it much nicer than this. This is my expression of the full energy. Fuller. I'm not yelling. I would have to be out in the woods to express it fully. Set and setting, it's important. Just like in psychedelic journeys, folks, and these are in some ways psychedelic journeys to process through your emotions. Oh, you know what? I'm so proud of myself. It is 53 minutes, and I said that I allow myself up to 1 hour of processing, and here I am doing it because I hadn't done it yet. All right. So I said, why don't we have the experiment be about, outside of, it's about a focus on us and what we need in order to tune up and review and learn from our past and our mistakes and be intentional. We also can dedicate the time that you want to spend with some chickie and you want to go spend exploring and dating and like getting to know other people in a romantic fashion, instead of hearing every single person in that circle who said, my heart aches for companionship, for friendship, for shared experience. One person like briefly named like sexual sensuality. Other than that, every person was not naming a fucking lovership that they were aching for. They are aching for companionship and friendship. And we're in a platonic motherfucking container. And all he's thinking about is whether or not he can smooch somebody.
And luckily, at the end, we did have an opportunity where the whole crowd is all cuddling up, and they asked me, "Are you going to come get in?" And I said no, because we have been too loosey-goosey with the platonic container, and I am so sensitive post-pandemic, not only just because I have cleared all of the like masking that I used to do to protect my energy. I also can sense the slightest shift towards from platonic to sexual energy, and I have felt it, and hopefully Brian knows that I was definitely talking about him. There were other men in the room that I have felt it from as well, and until we have set the container and clearly stated what holding truly platonic energy is, I will not get in the puddle. And the beauty is, I was also able to name, look, we all sat in cuddles and talked about our hearts and our feelings and made requests and stepped towards a practice of receiving. And there was never a moment of sexual tension or thought or like orientation towards that. We all had friend time, friend cuddle time. And now y'all are in this big old pile and you don't know whose legs are whose or whose feet are whose. And this is the beauty. This is the oxytocin. There's no confusion in this moment. That's a reminder from the dogs that I gotta wrap it up. And I did lead everybody through, and this was one of the moments when I perceived potential that Brian was wishing I would not talk. But the bummer is everybody else just kind of kept fucking chit-chatting, and I wanted to close with something fucking intentional. And if we had talked about the fucking outline like we normally do, he would have known that I wanted to do this. Hopefully, he felt like it was flow. So that at least we could talk about the difference between his feeling of flow and mine. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you. I'm almost done. And then we'll go outside, okay? You want to go outside probably right now? Okay. I'm going to wrap up. I'm going to quit being so expressive, okay? Yeah. Go lay down. We'll go outside in just a little bit. Get some exercise. Good boy. Good boy. Thank you. Good boy. Go lay down. You just tell a dog thank you for letting you know something's happened and that you heard it. Reassure them. They chill so fucking quick. Almost every dog. All I have to do is spend a couple days with them and kind of teaching them that, and they chill. So I feel grateful for the opportunity to be witnessed. I feel grateful for the opportunity to name my passion, to name that I grew up in the natural way of being, the way of life of gift circles. I planted the seeds of some of the words that I've already said, and I was able to name my expertise a number of times in a variety of ways, not in a like, here's my resume and I'm, defending my expertise. It was like, I'm going to throw in here a factoid that will help give you some context of why, what this means to me, and that this is literally the start of a culmination of a lifelong dream. And I am properly educated for it as well. Now, not only am I educated, but I am also prepared in that I have a tremendous toolbox of tools to sit with the wildlings and lead the wildlings out of the dark woods. So now I've been able to clear that to the point where now I feel like, okay, now that I've released quite a bit of that intensity, which I did not need to do with him, He did not need to witness that. That was an hour, give or take, that did not need to be spent together. I did need to get it out though. And now, I'm gonna go briefly go outside because it's sunny. No, I'm gonna stand here and just look at it so that I can focus. And I will show one pretty part in a sec. Okay, so I feel gratitude for the ways in which my partner and some friends and I explored new ways of being, in practicing a paradigm shift, in modeling behaviors and ideas, and being in process and not having it all together and, you know, completely perfectly aligned. Just kind of figuring it out as we went along, like literally a scrappy group. And then guiding everybody in that group towards an intentional practice of naming your desires, your wishes, your needs, knowing that it may not come from this particular circle, or if it's a couple or an individual, it takes a village to raise everybody. If we start listening, we start knowing what each other needs, we start knowing what each other does for a living, we can, we live in a small town. And as I said, I am calling out the dance community. I am calling out the authentic relating community. We do not welcome all of ourselves. We do not talk about what we do professionally. We do not talk about our professional joys, our projects that we're delighted to be working on. We don't talk about work as a spiritual practice. There's this entire realm of our lives that's flip-flopped. In the workplace, you don't talk about your personal life, and in the authentic relating and dance place, you don't talk about your work life. Fuck that. We need to integrate our lives. We need to integrate our communities. We need to know what each other is up to. And when there are needs, there should not be a single person who is sitting, looking at their garage or looking at their basement and feeling overwhelmed because they feel like they have to move every single one of those boxes themselves. There is absolutely no reason that someone should do that process by themselves. There's no reason why they should say, I've done it by myself a number of times, I can again. No. No. You ask for help, and there are people who will joyfully give it. That is the way we change this world. That is how we create the more beautiful world that our heart knows is possible. Is we ask each other what we need, we listen, and we, as a group, sometimes are able to figure out how to get that to happen. So, I'm done. 1:03. I'm sure I spent at least 3 minutes just not talking. Therapy session done. I'm gonna have a bio break, a cannabis break. I gotta walk the dogs. Then I'll start my work session. So I prepared my work session and then I walked away from it for a few hours, and that is okay. Okay. I don't anticipate anyone will ever see this, but in case you do, thank you for being on the receiving end. Thank you for sitting with me. It is not time for me to leave this room yet. Thank you for being on the receiving end. Thank you for witnessing me. Thank you for, just sitting in this particular circle with me at whatever time that happens. This is a timeless practice. Thank you. Oh, I'm gonna show off my necklace. This is my angel that I got for free because my order of some cool stuff was running very late. And then, and it's a magic angel. I'll talk about that later. And then this is a pretty necklace that I wear all the time that I love a lot, that the lady who owns this house was giving away. And I found it in her Goodwill pile when I took it to Goodwill, and I kept it and I love it. And I consider it to be a gift from the universe blended with a gift from a friend, and she doesn't even know that I have it and I love it because I haven't written her a thank you card yet. Okay. Gotta practice more active gratitude. Do it. Oh, I said a lot of that last night too. I taught people a lot last night. I let people see me in a way that none of these folks ever had, including my partner. Okay, I kick ass. Over and out.